Hey, Kodiak here, and today I'm going to be doing the back half of the Iron tier for Tribe Level 3 from when I upgraded to Tribe Level 4. To go ahead and also start this off, just to show some times. So this was my initial save. I'm only a couple minutes in. This was my first like real save. This is when I hit or this was right before I upgraded to Tribe Level 2. Um, Basically it took me about 7ish hours or so to get to tribe level 2, and then to get through tribe level 2 towards tribe level 3, it took me about 46-47 hours or so, and then completing tier 3 to get to tribe level 4, it was about another 106 hours. So that's kind of my playtime. Again, I'm on full power except for the combat settings for the most part. The combat settings are set to just standard 1.0 instead of me doing less damage and taking more damage, as well as I do have times 2 chest loot and times 2 animal output, so that way boss farming is a little bit easier and dungeon farming is a little bit easier. So that's kind of my timings, and you can see like I'm another 30 something odd hours towards tribe level 5 so far. So and we're pretty much almost there. So like that, it isn't too bad time wise, but you can see like going up in tiers definitely, it's about a good 40 hours of content or so per tribe level. Um, with that said, the first thing I did was I came over and did the jungle cave. Jungle cave gives you the wilderness restrictive module as well as the jade that you're going to need for steel tier. So I probably will have to go back and farm that a couple of times. I also did the Ancient Dungeon. The Ancient Dungeon's really strong for mithril drops. It's not guaranteed every time, but you do, so you're going to have to run it quite a few times. But mithril is really huge for hibernation pods. And hibernation pods will come into play when I'm really expand my training into like not only the expedition crews, but then also like my personal companions and whatnot. Since we start getting into god tier bodies and what have you, so that's going to become really big. Um, then I would say probably the biggest gain was coming over here to get the ancient ruins dungeon in the desert because of the tactical guidance mask. If you are not familiar, the tactical guidance mask makes your companions absolutely monstrous. It doubles their HP. It gives them 50% additional attack, which, again, at this tier, you're looking at like 200-ish odd attack anyway. So it's like you doubles them up to like 300 attack, which, what? And then same thing with defense. It's 50% additional defense. This is all on top of the Statue of God buff that you get for tribe mode. So it's like you really do make your companions just absolute monsters in terms of their survivability as well as how much damage they deal and everything else. So very, very good. Especially if you are a companion enjoyer, definitely a high priority. But for me, I really like the adhesive that you get out of this place. And with the adhesive, I was able to come down and kill the Berserk Saber, which then gave me my first set of armor with a costume. So this is costume armor. Basically, you can see it's like adhesive and then a little bit of boss components. So in this case, Sabertooth hide, and then like an iron costume. The nice thing about these sets is they're not exactly to steel tier. So like steel has a more spattering of stats, like it has like crit defense and crit damage and things of that nature, where this doesn't have all that, but the set bonuses kind of make up for that. So I would be pretty confident in saying that costume armor is on par, and if not some cases better than steel, but that's just blank steel. Obviously, costumed steel armor is going to be even better, but then now you have to kill the Doom version of the bosses, which requires awareness level 55 to even summon them. But then on top of that, you also have to go out and get Amber, which isn't from some of the snow dungeons and things like that. So it's a lot more involved, but the point I'm getting here is you don't necessarily need to rush to steel to get power in this case. I was still in my 40s when I got this, and it was a huge power bump. So definitely recommend. Don't stress getting into steel armor because steel armor definitely takes quite a bit of investment to actually set up and get everything going for that. So with now kind of having steel equivalent armor, I basically went and revealed the rest of the map. So the easy one is the volcano. So I just basically came down through here, grabbed like a scout, grabbed the portals, grabbed another scout, grabbed the portal. I do recommend before going to the volcano grabbing this scout as well. So like if you're coming down, like do this scout and then that scout. The reason for that is because you don't want to have to backtrack afterwards. So then once you've done this scout, come over, get this portal, get that portal, portal back, do this scout, get that portal. And then you can portal over to here, and because you've revealed this region, you can just come down and get that portal. Otherwise, what will happen is you'll get to here, and then you got to go up, and then come back down. It'll save you a little bit of running around. Same also goes for the desert. I usually don't do the giant crater right away. While getting the first little bit isn't too bad, and I mostly had that revealed in the other video. The next one I actually come up through here is I'll grab the ancient ruins here. Make sure as you're doing these scout camps at here and here, you will be killing guys that actually have, like you can see, Guardian Claw Tribe. They actually have like cold resist gear. Grab that and keep that, because that'll actually protect you against the cold as you run around. In terms of mounts, you really can't bring too many mounts into like the colder regions because they will just freeze to death and run extremely slow. But I've noticed the boar actually kind of holds up. It actually has some pretty decent cold resistance. I didn't really use any of them though. I just ran on foot. With the hunter body, you get 5% move speed. With excitant, you get another 10%, and mixed jam, you get another 10%. You're running around 25%. Plus, with the conquest mask, you can just spam invisibility, so you don't even have to worry about anything. So even though sure there's some dangerous stuff up here, not a problem. You're walking past everything invisible. So I also came. In terms of this one, I actually, instead of going from over here and trying to like cross the snow and all that, I actually went to the jungle cave and then ran over to here and then went up that like this way like that. That's usually a lot easier to do it that way for that. So that's kind of discovering everything, getting all that, get that going. That really helps in terms of the next tier of advancement. You're going to need to pretty much go everywhere on the map for steel. So definitely nice. If you remember from the last video, the main concern I had in upgrading the tribe to tribe level 4 was I didn't know how the invasions were going to be, and I'm kind of glad I waited on the first time because it got a little frustrating due to not expecting this. So the 5th invasion that I faced had 88 guys, and oh man, the problem with it is again, I am on full power, so that is entirely of my own making. But the first half of the invasion, so 32 guys in a wave, the first 16 just ran in and died to pegboards. Beautiful. That's what you want to see. Unfortunately, about midway through there, soon as they crossed the threshold of my bonfire radius, they dropped 2 crossbow turrets just right in the doorway, which blocked the other 13 guys. So that's really unfortunate. The AI is just ruthless with those crossbow turrets. Even if you manage to hit them at all or get them in any capacity, they do not get out. And they also turn to you in such a perfect way. Like, let's say I get on top of the crossbow turret, they will 100% track you with perfect accuracy. And so then you still can't reach the guy because reaching the guy is down below. So you either need companions or a source of AoE damage in order to damage them. So I opted for the latter because throwing my guys out there with there's 13 guys. If I put on the tactical mask, they might be pretty good. But I didn't actually have it at that point. That was part of the reason why it made me want to go get it. So I went ahead and opted for combustion cans. And I basically just rained down fire upon them from up here. And that seemed to kill the ballistas. It also distracted the guys, because again, if they are idle too long, they will just start destroying shit. So like the gates never survive. Usually I lose a pegboard or two, because they will start attacking the pegboards as well, because they're just bored. But by throwing fire on them, it gets their attention back on me. So then they start looking at trying to how to fight me. So they'll start trying to shoot at me and everything else. And then that causes them to, I can just kind of like go back and forth and they run along the pegboard. So that all kind of worked out. So I was like, okay, perfect. Yeah, I got this sorted. We're going to upgrade to tribe level 4. Surely that is the end of the challenges. Spoiler alert: it was not. So we've had to take a couple of new measures since then, but we'll cover that with the tribe level 4 recap. So with that, I upgraded to tribe level 4. Wasn't too bad. Everything's going pretty good. I have also, of course, been spending a lot of time at this point of the game really looking for those really good characters. And with that, I've been hitting 2 camps primarily. So I hit the beginning claw barracks for my personal bodies and the bodies that I want for my companions, and the flint barracks for the characters that I want to be on hunting expeditions. The hunting expeditions will have to wait for a separate video once I get all that set up and kind of completed to show that off. The spoiler alert, though, is that there's certain stats that really juice out the success chance on the expeditions, and Flint is the best for that. So we'll be getting. So I've been working on getting guys. And up here, the reason I like the Claw Tribe is that getting Braver talent, which you can see here, is getting Braver basically continuously stacks a ton of crit. So it's like 20% chance to crit while meleeing. I get 20% crit resist, 20% additional crit damage, so my damage goes up pretty significantly, and 20% additional movement speed. This stays up pretty much constantly while fighting. If you're fighting a melee at all, a 30-second duration is very generous, so very, very good. So definitely been happy with that. So I've been trying to get that on all my characters and everything else, because there's not too many ways to stack crit in this game, so that kind of fills a perfect hole for that particular purpose. So, and then the other thing that I've been collecting is, let's see if I can show it. Yeah, okay. So you can see I have a variety of little helper titles above them. So I have rapid fire, quick bandaging, enhanced defense, things of that nature. Those guys are basically like single talent guys, so I'm training them to only have one talent to train up a guy, because then I can kind of custom make my guy. And I'm not going to keep them around forever. Right now it's mainly just for efficiency purposes and to take advantage of the extremely high tribe cap that you get. Like 60 guys for a single person is quite a bit in terms of being able to do that. So that's definitely strong for purposes of like being able to just take like, oh, well, sure, I'll take 10 guys and just make them single trainers. And that's where, again, the hibernation pods come in. Is, let's say I get a body and I only need to train 3 of the skills. Perfect. Rather than have them roll random ones, I can just pull out the 3 individual guys in the hibernation pods and go ahead and get them out. Plus, there's bonuses for additional hibernation pods, so I should be able to, I think, I think the default is 10. Eventually, I think I'll get like 15 or 20 or something like that. So definitely good. That's going to be a perpetual focus from here on out in the rest of the game until I kind of get my crew. And I'm hoping that getting some of those guys with the better bodies and everything will help me out on some of these later invasions, that I can actually put them out there, go out there with like the tactical guidance mask, and like my little army of 3 guys will just annihilate, 32, no problem. So that's pretty much it. I'll see you in the next one.